How many times have you heard a YouTuber say something like this?
At the time, I thought it was just fun and goofy. You know, I was young, I was stupid. I wasn't thinking clearly. Over time, I've began to see, it was wrong, and I shouldn't have done it.
It's almost in the YouTuber handbook at this point. Eventually go through a massive controversy and then make the apology video. This can range from saying a bad word, doing a bad thing, or like Austin here, admitting to a crime that would see you sent to prison for the next 10 years of your life. But who was he? What did he do? And why did he think it was a good idea to talk about it on a video?
But I'm asking you to please put those opinions aside for a few minutes and listen to everything I have to say. And if by the end of the video you still have the same opinion, then so be it. But at least you will have your opinion based off of the full story and the truth.
In 2007, YouTube was in its infancy. There was no oversaturation and no formula people were following. No real path to making it a career. And this, like many other early YouTubers, is where Austin Jones started out. Passionate for music, especially what was popular at the time like Sum 41, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance, Austin would upload covers to these songs, which did have surprisingly good production quality compared to what else was available on the platform at the time. Some of these videos received millions of views, mostly from a teenage audience and mostly girls. Over the next few years, Austin grew his fan base on YouTube, but also on other social media, and even began releasing his own original music. His viewership was never the highest on the platform, but due to the nature of his content and the fan base, Austin managed to get many more subscribers than channels that released considerably more videos, especially as the albums he released gained moderate success, such as the 2014 We'll Fall Together that peaked at number 12 on the iTunes pop list. Austin became more active on then popular short-form platform Vine and started to tour, performing live, meeting fans, and selling merchandise. But pretty soon, something came out that made Austin much more famous. What could it be, more so than his singing ever could? Of course, I'm talking about the allegations. Starting in 2014, fans of Austin, mostly girls between the age of 11 and 15, started posting worrying messages on social media, detailing personal interactions with the then 20-something-year-old singer. These fans were mostly ignored, with other fans claiming they were just obsessed and looking for attention. That of course, somebody like Austin Jones would never talk to these girls anyway. That is until May 10th, 2015, where music website Pupfresh posted a report claiming that Austin Jones had been acting inappropriately with his young fans for the last few years, specifically contacting them on Facebook personally and asking them to twerk for him on video, even going so far as to send out videos instructing them on how to do it.
So this is like the first basic twerk move. So this is what you do. You stand with your legs apart, you bend your legs, and then you arch your back, and you don't arch it. You do it faster, so it's like that.
At this point, the social media internet star scene started to blow up with the news and allegations. Many fans didn't want to believe he was capable of what people were saying, and others were convinced this was just the tip of the iceberg. During the peak of the controversy, both sides, however, called for a response from Austin, but he was silent. Where was he? On May 18th, 2015, Austin posted to Facebook, the first public acknowledgement of the allegations. To my friends, fans, and family, I wanted to explain why I've been off of social media and have taken a break from my music. I've been in therapy, seeking help to discover why I communicated with my fans in a way that I have come to fully realise was not appropriate. The message continues with platitudes and ends, quote, "We as people are not made stronger from our successes, but by the journey we take through mistakes and misfortunes back to the top of the mountain. And that is where I intend to be at the end of this, at the top of the mountain, with a stronger sense of those who support me, a greater sense of self, and a greater connection to my fans. To those who have and will continue to support me, please know I never meant to let you down, and I'm doing everything I can, with the help of my family and friends, to pick myself back up and be a better person." Now this, of course, is an inadequate response, especially considering the gravity of the situation. Austin, a currently 23-year-old man, was not only going out of his way to message fans around the age of 14, but by his own admission, soliciting videos of entirely inappropriate acts. This was made especially worse as a response due to the fact that he continued to discuss the situation, downplaying it as not a big deal, claiming it was just a stupid pop culture dance, and more of a silly joke than a big issue people were making, one that he claimed the parents of the girls were often fine with. Clearly, Austin's apology was nothing more than placation. Despite claiming he knew mistakes were made, he obviously didn't think the mistakes were that big, and so he continued his life, living it in the same way he did before. He left his home and continued his music tour. After returning, this is when he realised things were not going to go away. A Facebook post was not going to solve this problem, which is when he decided to post his Hall of Fame all-time classic YouTuber apology. In this video, he says some stuff that you're about to find out didn't age particularly well.
I want to apologize to any of the girls that I talked to and I asked to do that. I am very, very sorry. I shouldn't have asked you to do that. It was foolish of me, and it was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. This has been something that's eaten me alive for quite some time. The guilt has been piling up for months. I mean, it's constant guilt. And this is before it became public a month ago. This is something that I've regretted for a long time. I really did regret my decisions. I'm not only sorry I got caught. I've been sorry for a very, very long time. I am so much better than the terrible decisions I made when I was desperate for attention. I'm better than that. I've completely changed from all of that. I don't know how to show you guys that, but I think with time, you'll see.
This video ended, and with that, his response to the situation was over. The video was posted on June 28th, 2015. Austin Jones set the record straight in his own words. What I didn't show you is that within this video, where he claims to correct the misinformation, he states the reason he did these things is because he grew up with hardships, like losing his sister, his father, his grandfather, which made him depressed, which is why he claims to have sought out attention from people to validate himself. He also said this.
Nothing ever went further than twerking videos. There were never any nudes, never any physical contact. It never happened.
Which did go against the rumours, but regardless, Austin would no longer address these rumours publicly and instead focus on building his musical career, which was somehow still progressing despite promoters and talent management being aware he had engaged in this behaviour with young female fans, which were predominantly his fan base. His subscriber count continued to go up, people continued to buy his merch and book tickets to his shows, people continued to buy his albums like the one that released in 2016, but 2017, that's when things change. That's when Austin Jones hit his peak in popularity and fame.
Currently, my Facebook page is unavailable, which sucks because I've got so many new exciting things coming up.
This was the very last video that Austin Jones posted to his YouTube channel, and what was coming was exciting, just not in the way Austin probably thought.
Thank you so much. I love you all dearly, and I will have some exciting news for you very, very soon.
1 week later, Homeland Security intercepted Austin at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago and arrested him.
Hey man, so I haven't been talking to you guys much, and I'm sorry, but it's just because it's for the benefit of both of us, because, like, I'm horny, like, all the time. So if we just keep talking, I'm probably going to ask for videos on, like, a daily basis.
Federal investigators found not one, not two, not three, but 4 clear-as-day examples of grooming between 2016 and his arrest in 2017. Though, of course, nobody knows how many more there were before this time, of course with the allegations in the public from 2014 and 2015, and dozens of girls coming out with evidence showing his attempt to do the same to them. It's clear there was more than just these 4. This was a message read aloud in court, taken from his Facebook Messenger account sent to victim B, as in victim AB, and then there's C and D too. Austin specifically in the chat logs tells victim B to do things. I'll spare you the other messages because they are graphic in detail, but this was a running theme throughout Austin Jones' chat logs with girls between the ages of 13 and 16. He would always tell them to do things of this nature, including telling them explicitly to say aloud their age repeatedly throughout, over and over again. Say, this is my name, and I'm 13, I'm 14, I'm 15 years old. Roll back the tape.
There were never any nudes, never any physical contact. It never happened. I've completely changed from all of that. I don't know how to show you guys that, but I think with time, you'll see.
Remember, this man told people he would never do this, that it would be disgusting, and that people saying this about him were trying to ruin his life. But there was smoke, and it turned out there was a raging inferno causing that smoke. It also makes the Facebook apology read all that more sinister, where he states, quote, "At the top of the mountain with the strongest sense of self of those who support me, a greater sense of self, and a greater connection to my fans. This is of course not the connection fans were probably anticipating. Now if we remember, back in 2015 when these allegations came out and he admitted to doing things of this nature, this is where everything should have came crashing down. This is where many victims could have been spared their interactions and being manipulated by textbook power dynamic predatory behaviour. But instead, music industry professionals used their influence to threaten anyone who spoke out against Austin. People like YouTube channel DFizzy, who came out in defence of the girls and attempted to signal boost a message about Austin, received threatening emails from adults who ran tours and music labels, stating they'd pull him off tours, he could go to prison, and might even get sued for slander if he continued to talk about Austin Jones in the way he was, despite the massive amount of evidence available at the time. These adults decided to pretend the massive number of messages online were fake, and this is despite there being videos of Austin talking to these girls, voice recordings of him trying to guilt, manipulate or shame the girls into removing tweets outing him for this behaviour. They were happy to keep him on, sell his merch, sell tickets to parents of teenage girls who would show up at his shows, go to meet and greets, and then he would add these same girls to Facebook and offer them modelling jobs. He just needed, of course, to check first that they were good models, and then this is where he began manipulating them. And if we remember back, the very last video Austin ever made on YouTube,
Currently, my Facebook page is unavailable.
he discussed his Facebook page being unavailable. The Facebook page he used not only for business, but to prey on his underage fans. Was this unavailable due to, as he claimed, cover music getting it flagged? Or was it unavailable just before the arrest to prevent him continuing this behaviour?
YouTube star with a large teenage following is headed to prison. A judge sentenced Austin Jones to 10 years behind bars.
Austin pleaded guilty to the charges. On May 3rd, 2019, Austin Jones was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison, with 8 years monitoring post-release. Austin was the classic example of a predator. He used his fame and the adoration of his fanbase to exploit them. He did so over many years, and the escalation of his behaviour was apparent to see. Even when aware the entire world knew he was up to no good, that he'd already been found out and would be closely watched, that what he was doing was wrong, he continued to not only do that, but get more and more bold in his actions. It's impossible to say how much worse it could have been if he would not have been caught at this stage. 7 days after Austin appeared in court, YouTube deleted his channel. His page received over 250,000 subscribers between the news of his arrest and the deletion, doubling his subscriber count that he had gained in the last 9 years. Fans still post his videos and pictures they took with him at tours, stating they know what he did was wrong, but he still has their heart.